G'day, it's Dan here, and today we're going to do another short video on the Ruleset Wizard for Fantasy Grounds, building our Cyberpunk RED ruleset. Today we're going to do something different, where after the dice have been rolled, we're going to take that roll and do something with it. So in this case, we're going to set the character's initiative in the combat tracker. So what I've done to start with is create a button with a new custom icon and a label. So I've just set the values for the label, and we'll have a look at the values for the button. What we've got here is I've removed the frame, I've set the height to 40 wide, 40 tall, I've set the icon to icon init and the pressed icon to icon init down, and when we go down to the bottom, I've also named it initiative button. And under the role parameters, we've got a whole bunch of new fields from the current 0.4.2 release. So our dice roll is 1d10 exploding plus the ref score, the reflex score. And we are then doing some new stuff here. So we've got rollhandlers.initHandler. So rollhandlers.initHandler, what that means is I've created a new script called rollhandlers. And within that script, I've got a function called initHandler. So that's where we get rollhandlers.initHandler. That will call this function. Then I've got a role description text, and it's just simply initiative in square brackets. Role type, this is important. We need to create a role type when you're doing this type of thing. Otherwise, the link between the character sheet or the tool and the resultant script won't be set up. So we've called this role type initiative. Now don't use things like damage because that is well, you can use damage, but don't use damage if you're extending a rule set that already has a damage role type in there. Make sure you understand what these are doing. Targeting type, this is untargeted. This is only impacting the character itself. And use modifier stack is true. So that just means if there's any modifiers set, they will be pulled into this particular role. All right, so we'll go and have a look at our new script, role handlers. Okay, so there's a function called initHandler, and it accepts 3 parameters: rSource, rTarget, and rRole. Now in our case, there is no rTarget. But there is an rSource, which is the current character sheet, and if we debug that, we'll see the character sheet reference. We'll also see the combat tracker reference if the character is in the combat tracker, and rRole is the roll, so it'll show the dice type that was rolled, the sides or the face that rolled when those dice were thrown, and any modifiers. The next part is to create a message, and it creates the message from rSource and rRole. So this is using a core RPG function called createActionMessage. We don't have to do anything else. It knows how to build that message up. Then we're going to deliver the message to chat. So that will output initiative and the dice result. Then we check to see if rSource. Then if rSource exists, then we will run these additional steps. So the first thing we do now is collect the result of the roll and store it as end total. So I rolled an 8, I've got a reflex of 5, it'll store 13 as my end total. The next thing we do is we locate the character in the combat tracker. So the characters have, or PCs have, 2 nodes in the database. They have their own node, which is car sheet, and then they have one in the combat tracker. NPCs only exist in the combat tracker. So when we search rSource, or when we look at rSource, we'll see both a sCreature node, which is the character sheet node, and then we'll see a sCT node, which is the combat tracker node. So in here, we want to find the character's CT node. So we want to find their reference for the combat tracker. And finally, we're going to set the value of the dice roll, that's n total, into init result in our combat tracker node. And that's the end of the function. So let's give that a whirl. Let's publish that. Reloading the rule set. We've got our initiative button here and that label. We'll open up the combat tracker. We can remove character from here if we like, re-add them in. So they've got no initiative currently because that initiative is only stored in the combat tracker. We'll roll for initiative. We'll see our message. Kanto Ryu rolled initiative, rolled a 2 plus a reflex of 5, which gives us a result of 7, and that has been set into the combat tracker. We'll do one more. Alright, this time an initiative of 13. Nice and simple, but really, really powerful. This is where you're going to really start to make useful character sheets and useful integrations that make this rule set really work. Thank you for watching.